So height in feet, a formula. After t seconds, they've now told me that t is in seconds, so I now have my units. How many seconds will it take for the ball to reach a height of 20 feet? But let's just get this, and it says round your answer to the nearest hundredth. This tells me how to round my answer. So I'm going to do a picture. So I don't know what it is. It's a wall or a building. It doesn't say. I know that the distance here is 10 feet. And then somebody or something, we'll say it's somebody, is standing there, and it says it throws the ball upward. That means there's some momentum behind the ball. Now, with a problem like this, you can ask a lot of questions. You can say, what is the maximum height of the ball? When does the ball hit the ground? So that, and they're asking us, the next question is, how long will it take the ball to reach 20 feet? So in other words, that's a path along the way. It starts out at 10, goes upward, at some point in time reaches 20 feet. And then comes back down. So let's take a look at our formula. Our formula is h and t. So I look at t being one of my, this is time, and the units is in seconds. And h is height, and the units is in feet. And if I take my formula, which says h equals negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 10. Now this is what's different. Negative 16 is still there, and that is, again, that's going, and it's negative because, you know, what goes up must come down. So this is the acceleration due to gravity. 32, well, that's the initial speed. So we normally call this velocity or speed. And 10 says it started 10 feet off the ground. Now, do you have to care about that? No, you just have to be able to put in x, get out y, put in y, get out x, or put in t, get out h, put in h, get out t. The question is, how many seconds, so t and h are my two things. How many seconds? It wants to know what t is for it to reach a height of 20 feet. So h is 20. And in this case, 0 is not an issue because 0 is ground. So I want to know when is it going to be 20 feet above the ground. So h is 20. So this would be negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 10. By the way, this is why I do this. If I know my two variables are t and h, if it says find t, I know that in this problem they're giving me a value for h. If it says ground, h is 0. But it does tell me the height is 20 feet, so it gave me an h value of 20. So h could be 0 or it could be something else. So I fill in the blanks over here. It tells me how to fill in the blanks here. So when I make my list of variables, it helps me here, which makes the word problems much easier. I want to move everything over so I had a negative 16 becomes, well, this doesn't matter one way or the other, because we're going to have to use a quadratic formula on this. But this will become 16t squared, subtract 32, minus 32t, subtract 10, plus 20, plus 10, excuse me. equals 0 because I subtracted 10. So 16 minus 32, subtract 10, I get a 10.
So you subtract 20.
Pardon me?
So you subtract 20. Oh, you do.
I went the other way. I added 16 and moved everything over here. I subtracted 32, and then I subtracted 10.
Does it make a difference if we do?
No, I did it the other way in the other hour, so yeah, you'll still come up with the same answers. And I don't know whether it factors or not, and I don't care because this looks too nasty to me, regardless. So I just shove the thing in a quadratic formula. So I know that A is 16, B is negative 32, C is 10, so that T is minus a minus 32 plus or minus the square root of B squared, which is minus 32 squared, minus 4 times A, which is 16, times C, which is 10, all over 2 times A, which is 16. Or T is 32 plus or minus the square root of something all over 32. I cannot cancel the 32s because of the addition or subtraction makes that a single unit. So now I take out my handy dandy little calculator, and it's negative 32, so I've got to take a parenthesis, negative 32, whoops, clear that, parenthesis, negative 32 parenthesis squared minus 4 times A, which is 16, times C, which is 10. So that's 384 all over 32. And so this is going to become 32 plus or minus the square root of 384 is 19.6. all over 32. So that T is 32 plus 19.6 over 32, and T is 32 minus 19.6 over 32. So 32 plus 19.6 divide 32 is 1.6. T is approximately 1.61 seconds. You can take it out to as many decimal places as you like. 1.6 would be fine.
No problem.
Pardon me?
No problem. It says to the nearest hundredth.
Oh, does it say to the, oh yeah, nearest hundredth. So nearest hundredth would be 6.1. And then you're going to have 32 minus 19.6. Divide that by 32. Nearest hundredth would be 1.61. And this is 0.39. So what do we know? We know that the ball is 20 feet above the ground at 1.61 seconds and 0.39 seconds. Now, why would that be the case? Well, if you think about it, the ball starts off at 10 feet. It goes up and comes back down and hits the ground. We're looking at 20 feet above the ground. It hits 20 on the way up. That's 0.39 seconds. It turns around, comes down, hits 20 again on the way down. So there would be two answers. If I would say, when is it 6 feet off the ground, 6 would be here, it would only be 1. Because it started above 6 feet. But anything above 10 feet, it hits it twice. Cool. Well,